Now we're sort of going to go over some guidelines for how you might pick a mentor. And this is a really important process. So um, obviously go with someone who possibly has the same research interest as you, someone who has background in that. Somebody maybe that you've already taken a class from, but that's not always something that you can easily discern. So, I mean, besides reading the research and seeing what classes they teach, uh, that's one way to do it. But one of the things you need to do is that a lot of people are very busy, so you need to make sure that when you reach out to them via email or whatever, that you sort of keep it short. You talk about why you want them as your mentor. And remember, you're starting a relationship that's going to go on for a very long time, almost a year and a half. So you want to be very polite, you want to be respectful, you want to be very careful about how you word your emails or you have your phone conversations. You don't just want to sort of go in demanding that they do something for you. Mentors really do value that you're enthusiastic and that you're really passionate about the topic. That obviously makes it much easier, and I've talked about in other videos that that's one of the great things you bring to the process. So they really like when you're passionate about it and when you sort of know what you want to do. You don't have to know everything, but just sort of, I really want to look at this. This is something I've seen in my practice. This is something I really want to do with my project. Also, be familiar with what they do. Like I said, you can pick them based on that, but they might have a research interest that you don't know about. So sort of tie your interest to their interest, which is really a good way to get them to do buy-in, to see if they really do see the connection. Then they might have other resources to bring to you. That's one of the reasons why it's good to match based on research interests. Also, you'd have to sort of make clear, I'm usually available these days. When are you available? I want to meet with you every week. I want to talk to you or check in every week or every 2 weeks. I'll respond by a certain time. I check my email every 2 hours. You don't, but I check my email every so often, so I'll respond to you. You want to make sure that you set up that sort of timetable of what you expect as far as communication, going back and forth and connecting. And not every single day, but I mean, a mentor is really going to respond to you if you let them know that you are sort of really responsible and that you're going to get those revisions or take that feedback and really do a good turnaround time. It's not always possible, but again, that constant communication, and if they know that you're going to do your part, that also helps them sort of say, sure, I'll be your mentor. You also have to sort of make clear and sort of set boundaries of what you want the relationship to be. Do not expect them to do the work for you. They're there to mentor you, not to be your co-author at this point. So they're going to sort of set guidelines, give you feedback. So kind of, say, I really respond well to the written word, or sometimes like once a month I might need to talk to you, or I need to process ideas. So sort of your learning style, and if you let them know that up front, then they will be able to sort of accommodate their teaching style or their mentoring style to that, or see if that's what they're comfortable doing. But again, as best as possible, it's good to have all of that kind of information out front. Also, you might want to look at tell them what courses you've had, tell them how you've worked, tell them where you've worked in the field, so give them your background to show what you actually bring to the game. Also, make sure that you want to make sure that they say yes. If they say no, because they could be really busy, or they could have other mentors that they're doing, or they could have another research project they're doing, or teaching a whole lot of classes, or all the above, which sometimes happens, then, say to them, okay, so who else do you recommend? Where else do you recommend I go? Do you have any feedback for me? Again, sort of be that open and honest relationship with the potential mentor, so they sort of see and know what they're getting into, and that they see that you are super committed to this and you want to do this. If they say no, still be polite, still say thank you. Again, ask them where, who else, what else could be helpful. One thing to keep in mind, medicine is really a small world. You're building a relationship with someone, even if they're not your current mentor, that you might need in the future. And you're also building your reputation, and you don't want to be known as the person who never responds to email, or the person who went off in a huff, or the person who was impolite when someone was going out of their way to be nice to you. So again, they might say yes, they might say no, no matter. Use them as a resource to figure out the next step if they say no. Thank them no matter what. Also, remember, if you're going to set up a time and you're going to go and meet with them, just the basics. Be on time. If you're late, let them know ahead of time, 24 hours in advance. Let them know I'm going to be this late. And if they say, well, I don't have time to meet with you, don't get all upset. Realize that everyone's on a very tight schedule, including yourself. And also, be ready when you come to have specific questions. Not like, I don't know what to do, but say, I don't know what to do with this part. Have specific questions in mind. Make the best use of that time with your mentor when you meet with them or you call them during this whole process if they say yes. Have something. Don't just say, I'm overwhelmed. Say what you're specifically overwhelmed with. Bring enough material and enough thought to those meetings so that they can really give you some direct feedback. And if they can't, they can get back to you and answer those questions for you. So again, this is a long-going process. So when and if they say yes, make sure that you keep up your sort of end of this deal and make sure that you're ready, you're prepared, you're polite in emails, even if you're frustrated. Make sure that you use all your resources. Make sure that you come to the game with specific questions, not just sort of vague things. Make sure that you hold up your end of the bargain with doing the work or making the changes that they've talked about and getting it back to them to look at in a timely fashion. Understand you might have to send them sort of a tickler email. Were you able to look at that? What's some feedback? Those kinds of things. But you got to stay engaged this whole process. So I guess one of the best things is see if you actually, they're going to challenge you no matter what, but make sure that you actually like what they're doing, that they're connected with your passion. So it's a two-way street. Hold up your end of the deal, and they're your sort of companion and your guide throughout this whole process. As am I. You can always contact and reach out to me, but they are sort of your subject-specific mentor.